things.
Lem.
I feel like it's going by fast.
We knocking them out. We in a groove.
Yeah, I remember. Like, this is 11, but I feel like it was just yesterday when we were talking about it, and we kept saying like, "Hey, yeah, we're gonna do it," and then it was kind of like one of them conversations. It was like, "All right, bro, let's stop talking about what we're gonna do and let's do it."
Yeah.
And we started a process of looking up equipment and thinking about the aesthetic we wanted, furniture and all that.
Yep. Well, it's kind of strong.
Yeah.
Happy July 4th. Independence Day. America.
Boy, you know somebody had the audacity. So they, you know how when 4th of July's coming up, people are like, "Oh, what are you gonna do for the 4th? What are you gonna do for the 4th?" I'm like, I don't know. Probably gonna do nothing. I'm saying, chill. They're like, oh, "You don't have plans for the 4th? You're not patriotic." I said, "Bitch, serve the military. Don't get no more patriotic than that." Boy, they tried to pull my patriot card.
Oh man.
I'm
starting, like, as I get older, like, I'm always gonna be America. Like,
boy, you remember the All American flag outfit you used to wear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always gonna be that, man. Like, for better or for worse, flaws, all that, imperfections that we have, long roads that we have to travel, all that is still fucking Team America.
Right.
All day. But my thing is, as I'm getting older, I feel like pride in your country, for me, it's becoming more private. Like, it's something I feel intensely. It's something that I love, but it's just not something that I feel compelled to express loudly, outward. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like religion, right? Because religion, in my opinion, is a pretty private thing. Like, how your personal beliefs, stuff like that. Like, you know, it's okay to, you know, they like demonize it. I see a lot of people saying, you know, if you see someone flying an American flag, you might be able to tell their politics. Well, I'd fuck them all up because I love the American flag, right? But I don't think I'd fall quite into the categories that they put you in these days. But it's always fucking Team America, goddammit.
On my last deployment when I was in Riga, Latvia, I posted a picture of me in front of the American flag, and I said, "I know things aren't perfect."
I mean, shit.
Exactly. "There has been blood spilled and tears shed. I thank the ones that have come before me, that made the sacrifice in order to defend you. You host the ones most dear to me. I dream of a day I return to you with open arms. God bless America, home of the brave."
Freedom.
But I don't advertise. It's not so much that I don't advertise that topic per se, like my pride for my country. It's more of I don't really advertise my opinions, period. Because the fact of the matter is, most people don't give a shit about your opinion.
Yeah.
You know? And unlike, a platform like this, or where people actually, they're making a conscious decision to tune in to hear our opinions or what we have to say. Usually in a conversation, unless someone asks you a question, or they're, just kind of having a casual conversation where they're just kind of just trying to poke into each other's brains, people don't care, like, what you think about this topic or this topic or this topic. So I think that comes from me from like I don't want to use the word humble, because I don't think of myself as less than what I'm worth, but just as a self-reflection of myself, and just keeping myself at a level of not thinking that I'm way more important than I really am. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I kind of agree, but on some, like, in some cases, I'll see opinions. People put their opinions out, and I get something from it. I may not agree with their opinions, but they might offer a different perspective, and I can say, okay, that makes sense. Like, I understand why they feel that way. Like, okay, so for instance, back to the vaccines.
Oh, gosh.
You already know where my stance is on the vaccines, right? And in most cases, when people say some anti-vaccine shit,
Mm-hmm.
I look at them and I'm like, you're ignorant. I think that people are ignorant because based off the arguments they make, they just don't make sense and they contradict reality.
Mm-hmm.
But, and this is going to sound discriminatory because it is, when it comes to black people, I don't feel as strongly because I think if anybody has a reason to be skeptical of the government, it's black people.
Right.
I'm not just talking about, like because of slavery. I'm talking about Tulsa, Philadelphia, South Carolina, Tuskegee, like crack. There's like a long history of. Now I don't think
Right.
I don't think this specific scenario with the vaccine is any of those things.
Right.
But I can't. But I can't knock someone who gets skeptical.
Right.
When you know the history of these things. So it's like, I don't think it's that,
Mm-hmm.
but I can sympathize with someone that does.
Right.
So, and so that's like that's when hearing someone's opinion influenced me,
Mm-hmm.
and it was beneficial because I got to see things from a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And then, just doesn't mean I'm gonna agree with them, but if I can understand someone's point that I disagree with, then I learned something.
I mean, opinions are important, but for me, there's levels to it. So I don't want to hear everybody's opinion. I don't care to hear everybody's opinion.
Yeah.
And I don't care to hear a bunch of people's opinion on a bunch of topics. It's very select few topics that I care to hear people's opinion, because of that. Most topics, your opinion about it doesn't mean it's true, right? So some topics, like a vaccine, or they can be backed up by facts, right? But most topics is not. It's just like, okay, you decided to drive your car with this hand. I'd rather drive my car with this hand. You know what I'm saying? It's stuff like that, and people like get so bent out of shape about it. It's just like, bro,
You know how everybody's so adamant about your hand thing driving made me think of this.
Mm-hmm.
So I started putting my toilet paper on the roll with the paper coming off the back.
okay,
Everyone else, and for me for the longest time, is always on the front,
mm-hmm.
right? And there's debates on the internet, and 9 out of 10 people have it going off over the front. I go off the back, and the reason is I found out that years ago, toilet paper companies spent a lot of money doing studies on which way to hold it, which way to put it on there. And this is why you see all the toilet paper commercials, it's on the roll the same way.
Mm-hmm.
They found that when you put the toilet paper roll on there so that the paper comes off the front instead of the back, people were using 30% more toilet paper. So when they use 30% more toilet paper, they got to go back and buy more toilet paper more often.
Mm-hmm.
So then they do all the marketing, and on the commercials they show it going off the front. And now there's this thing on the internet where everybody's arguing for that because it makes the most sense and it looks the best. And that's how I did it forever. But when I heard that, I said, "Fuck you! I'm gonna stick it to the man. I put my toilet paper on backwards, and I'm gonna save 30%."
Save 30%. How did that? I don't see how that forces people to use more toilet paper.
Because I think it just comes off easier. I just think the way it's facing, it just comes off easier.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm guessing they just found that those were the numbers when they did the study.
I've never been a person that was particular about which way my toilet paper was facing. Half the time, honestly, I don't like to put it on the roll. Period. Because sometimes the roll is too big, so then it's getting caught, and then I just like
they are making them rolls thick as hell. Oh yeah, you stick the 3 fingers in the tube and you
No, 2 fingers.
2 fingers.
My finger's too big. I can't fit 3.
I do this. I go in there like I can do 2.
Yeah, 2.
I go like this.
That's funny.
I tell you who doesn't do that? Ronnie. Because I talked to Ronnie the other day.
Boy, hold on. I saw Ronnie. Ronnie posted something and he tagged you in it.
Yeah.
But you didn't make a comment or nothing, so I'm like...
I liked it and then I called him.
Okay.
But he said he don't wipe. He just squat a little deeper and wiggle.
Something wrong with that bull.
That man.
Something wrong with him.
I love him to death.
We need to have him as a guest on here one day.
Yeah.
But Actually, I take that back because he might say something that's gonna get us canceled.
Nah, we'll be all right.
Somebody hit me up, matter of fact, and was quoting something you said. I was like, y'all gonna get canceled, bro.
Oh, it was probably from episode 9, because that episode we were a little...
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. When you said you got a membership at...
Yeah, yeah.
I said, yeah, that boy Bruce, something wrong with him. That boy ain't right in the head.
That's debatable.
I'm digging the band member outfit you got on.
Yeah.
Where your acoustic guitar at?
Nah, I got the keyboard in the closet.
Oh, there you go.
I got the keyboard in the closet.
You playing down the street, huh?
Yeah,
they got you.
Yeah, at the church.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of that damn church.
Nope, not doing it.
No, I'm gonna tell you. I'll tell you what.
Don't tell. No, you tell me later. No. I will walk off the stage.
I went down there the other day.
No, I know you did. Tell me later.
I know.
No, tell me later.
They need to know because if they want to show up.
No, they don't, bro.
To the sermon.
Bro, I'm gonna walk off, bro.
I'm gonna preach from the Harry Potter books,
bro. Is that a PS5?
It's a PS5 controller.
Oh, are you gonna get a PS5?
At some point, probably.
Why you ain't got it already?
Because it's not. Because anything the PS5 can do, my PC can do.
Oh, okay.
And there's not a lot of like PS5 exclusives right now that make me want to get it yet. And I still can't find them bitches anywhere.
For real?
Yeah, they're still like hard to come by. Speaking of hard to come by, that motherfucking snake Bill Cosby got free.
Boy, when I saw that, I didn't know how to feel, right?
Oh, I know exactly how I felt.
Because part of me, I'm a conspiracy theorist, right? So that part kicked in. Was like, well, they set him up anyways. Yeah,
60 women who never met each other from all over the country.
Right.
Even if 30 women were lying, even if 40 women were lying, there's still 20 telling the truth.
Or 60 were lying.
No.
Because when you come out to somebody like Bill Cosby, bro, Bill Cosby...
They didn't get nothing from it.
You don't know that. Whoever was setting them up, they could have paid them.
No.
So you tell me that's not a possibility?
I'm saying it's a 0.01% chance.
You just throwing out stuff now.
Yeah, because...
No, it's simple. Is it a possibility?
I mean, sure, it's possible.
That's it. Right? So, once again, my conspiracy theories part of me was like, yes, they was lying anyways. He ain't do that shit, right? And then, it was another part of me was like, dang, if he really did, then it's just going in this cycle again of not listening to women and women not having a voice.
Yeah.
Right? But then again, my mind goes again was like, it's messed up because yes, everybody needs to have a voice, but I feel like especially in our society with like social media and stuff, trends start to happen, like the buzz, the waves start to happen, and people start to exploit those waves and those trends, right? And so it's like, it's just so many angles that it was coming from. It was like, man, I'm happy he out. You know what I'm saying? He owed his hell anyways. Ain't no way he did that shit.
No. He's a predator. He's a rapist. If any of my boys behaved the way he did, we'd be scrapping. The reason he got out is because...
It was a technicality.
Yeah, basically, because it wasn't that the most recent trial that put him in prison. Mm-hmm. It wasn't that what happened in that trial was found unworthy or anything. Everything that the women who testified said was compelling and truthful and convincing. It was just the fact that because of some deal they had with a different prosecutor prior to, meant that trial should have never even happened. Mm-hmm. And that's why he got out. and I see so many people. Like I unfollowed some people when I saw them retweeting it and shit, celebrating it. Like, a rapist just went free, and y'all are celebrating it. And guess what? Bill Cosby's not gonna see that. But any of your homegirls or homeboys that have been sexually violated and are nervous to speak up are gonna see that. So,
but once again, there still is. It depends. It depends on how you want to look at the situation.
It's possible that Bin Laden didn't do 9/11. It's possible that Dylan Roof didn't shoot up that church. Right? They're all very small, minute possibilities, but they're possible. So you can't just go with, oh, it's possible.
Yeah, you can.
No, because anything's possible. So then you don't believe anything.
No, because once again, you look at history, right? You look at the trend of things, what has happened beforehand. So
I'll tell you the trend. The trend is women speak up, they're not taken seriously, and then their homeboys don't, the dudes don't get held accountable.
Or women have spoken up falsely and messed it up for some men that either were on a come up or that were in powerful positions.
That's an absolute truth.
It's like, it all depends. So me personally, I define it, one, that's why I don't speak out on social media about stuff, because no one really knows, right? So if you don't really know, and you don't really know all the facts, yeah, you can go by the facts that are put to you by the media, but we've had this discussion. You can't trust what's put out on by media.
I don't know.
Hold on. So for me, I separate everything. I don't just look at that. I look at the pieces of the scenario. I say, one, all right, I know and I don't agree with rape or any of that. Boom. I don't agree with false claims. Boom. And that's that. I don't know Bill Cosby. I don't. So at the end of the day, I really don't give a shit whether he stays in jail or not. You know what I'm saying? So I think that where the issue lies is that when people are speaking out on these topics, they're speaking out and showing so much emotion for a person that don't know them and they don't know them. They know them from a TV screen, right? And they're not really thinking about the people that they actually know, which is the topic, is the point that your homeboy, your homegirl, blah blah blah, that's actually interacting with you, that you could have a impact on their life or their situation. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't voice opinions or stuff like that on social media about people that I don't know, that you can't possibly know all the facts, because it's that big of a situation that there's so many things and so many hands in it that, man, it's just no.
The problem with that train of thought is you can apply it to anything,
right?
In which case you believe nothing.
When it's high profile, I don't.
So there's that. First of all, so here's the thing. I think he should rot in hell for what he did. But if that's the deal,
if he did it,
I believe he did it. I
Okay.
believe the evidence is overwhelming.
How many times have stuff that has been presented to us been overwhelming, and then it comes out that it wasn't true?
I mean, it happened, sure.
So,
but more times than not, overwhelming leads to the truth. And every so often, that's the problem with conspiracy theorists, right? Is because every once in a while, their crazy fucking ideas, every once in a while, once in a blue moon, they're right.
I think it's every so often that the truth comes out. That's what it is.
And every so often they're right, but like, anyway, I think it is overwhelming. Not just from, the words of the victims, but the way he conducted himself, the things he joked about, the way he moved legally. Like, my point is this: because the prosecution made that deal with him, to where if he testified in this civil case, right, then that he couldn't be prosecuted.
Right.
Because that happened, he should have been released from prison, legally speaking, and that's how it works.
Right.
I think he should rot in hell for what he did, but that's what the legal system did. That's the deal they made. It's got to be abided by.
Right.
What I have a problem with is one day when I have a daughter, I don't want her to grow up in a world where people are celebrating the release of a rapist. I don't want, or even if you don't know, like, I don't want her to grow up in a world where she thinks that she's not going to be taken seriously.
Right.
Right? So it's one thing to get mad and furious with women or men who make false accusations and ruin lives. Fuck them. They deserve to go to prison too. Right? But there wasn't an ounce of evidence suggesting that, like, Bill Cosby's defense, right? His defense was, oh no, it wasn't that, oh, they're all conspiring against me. It was, no, my behavior was appropriate. That's what it was. Mm-hmm. So he never said that, you know, I've never met these women. Mm-hmm. He never said any of that. He just said, no, what they're describing is inappropriate. What really happened was actually appropriate, is basically what his argument was. Mm-hmm. So with that said, if a man encounters 60 women and admits to encountering 60 women, and all 60 of them say, well, he probably encountered way more than that, and he probably had appropriate interactions with women too. Mm-hmm. But 60 of them say, hey, this was inappropriate, like, you know, it had a really bad effect on my mental health and, you know, how I view myself. No, dead that. He should have, I wish he would have died in prison. I wish he would have got stabbed before they figured out this technicality and he was released. As he should have been released, because that's what the paperwork said. But I want my daughter to grow up in a world where she thinks her voice matters.
Which I'm surprised nothing happened to him. If, just from what I heard and I read, most time when rapists go to prison, they don't last very long. So
yeah, I imagine when you're famous though, that adds a different aspect to it. And apparently he did get hurt a couple times. I don't know if it was, I remember him getting hurt, but I don't know if it was because somebody hurt him or because he fell. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't think it was because, I didn't see if somebody hurt him. But nonetheless, I mean, I get what you're saying. It's a lot of topics like that. It just.
And another thing is, I don't want, like, there isn't, but even if there was a small inkling in my body that said, maybe it's all a setup. Maybe. I still wouldn't say shit because I don't want any of the women in my life, or men for that matter, to think that I'm not a safe place to go should they face that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, my biggest issue with the whole thing, you know, him getting out, isn't exactly him getting out. It's the way people celebrated it. Like, what? That shit ain't cool.
I think, well, I haven't seen a lot on it. I just heard it, like, on the radio and stuff like that. But, you know, I'm not big on social media. Then, obviously, the people that I follow on social media, I mean, they ain't talking about Bill Cosby or giving their opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the day we live in, bro, that people celebrate some weird, some goofy stuff, bro. People celebrating snitches nowadays. People, like, that's the world we live in, and it sucks. And we can there's plenty of topics that we could talk about of how, you know, we don't want our kids to grow up in a society that thinks that way. But it is what it is, which is why I'm such a subjective thinker, man. Like, I don't know. Some people think it as a fallacy, but I always, every time, it's always just like, whenever I hear a story from someone, it's always like, or like, if it's like a he-she type of thing, even from the simplest thing, bro, it's always their side, and the truth is somewhere in the middle. You know what I'm saying? It's somewhere in the middle.
I think that's true.
I think that's
in occasions.
I think more times than not. At least that's how I go at it.
Here's my thing.
And that's how I go at every situation. Especially if I wasn't there. If I wasn't there, I don't know, man. People can think that's a fallacy of mine, but that's how I think, bro. If I wasn't there,
It all depends on what it is, because like anytime you think, so you never assume, someone being deceitful where just ignorance will suffice. So the point of that is, if someone is going to lie to you, unless they're like one of those psychopathic people that have like a mental illness where they can't help themselves from lying, right? Mm-hmm. If a normal person is going to lie to you, there's a motive. What would they gain from lying to you? Right? So that's what you got to think of. Right. And if they're telling me something, and if I think it's a lie, that means I think they get something out of it. But if they don't get nothing out of it, then I don't think it's a lie, because why else would they lie?
Well, it depends on what getting something out of it, who's defining that point. You know,
like, how would they benefit from me believing this lie?
Right. So it could be something simple, just of seeing you react to whatever they're saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the benefit for them. Or seeing, I don't know, something happen to this person. It's like there's levels to it. It doesn't have to be like an actual, like. So that's why I said it depends on who's defining what is the benefit, what the benefit is. Whether that's an emotional benefit, whether that's a psychological benefit, whether that's a monetary benefit. I don't know.
I guess I don't think people are.
And before you go on, because I think that way, that's why I fool with such a small amount of people. Right? I don't think, because if you came to me and was like, "Hey, bro, da 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 da," I'm like, "Okay, boom." I'm not gonna question whether you're lying to me or not, because I know what our relationship is. Because I think that way, that's why I don't associate myself with a whole bunch of people, bro.
I don't know, maybe
we just talked about how messed up the world is, but they celebrating. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just talked about
it's all about incentives, right?
Right.
So people are going to behave in a way that they're incentivized to, right? Rich people are incentivized to avoid taxes legally and exploit loopholes. Uh-huh. If I was rich, I'd do it.
Right.
Keep more of my money. That's where the incentive is, right? So I don't think people are inherently bad or inherently good. I think they're inherently survivalists, and they're going to do what they're incentivized to do to build the best life for themselves. Now, when it comes to lying, maybe I'm a little bit more not naive, but maybe optimistic than you are.
Yeah, you are a lot more optimistic.
But I think it's because I don't put much stock into what people tell me, because I learned so much more about them by just watching what they do.
Right.
Right.
I think I'm a combination of both, and that's because of how I am. I'm very transparent, but also I show too. So if I say I'm gonna smack the shit out of you, best believe I'm gonna smack the shit out of you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't just say. I don't just say stuff just to say it.
A lot of times when people, and the reason this ties into the lying thing is because people will talk to you, and they will be talking to you with the complete intention of being truthful and honest. But it's polluted by this ideal version of themselves that they have in their head. Mm-hmm. Right? So someone can, say they're loyal, say they're hardworking, because in their head that's what they want to be. That's what they aspire to be.
They're trying to speak it and exist. They're trying to
So when they think of themselves, these things are true, right? And I mean, there's a deep conversation to be had about truth and what it means, but like, I don't think it's a lie if I'm telling you something and I genuinely, in the core of my being, believe what I'm saying to you is 100% true. I don't know if you can consider that a lie, because there's no there's no malevolence in it,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's no ill will in it because I'm giving you my truth. But then you watch someone's actions,
And you're like,
and
bro,
you see the real truth, right?
Right.
Maybe they are loyal, or maybe they fold, at the first sign of stress. But like, so
that's why I think it's a two-part thing. Then
that's why I'm careful to say that people are mostly liars, because I think, in a sense, they're telling the truth because they believe what they're saying, because they've painted this picture of themselves in their head. But then, yeah, like when you see that their actions don't, and that's why I have so much respect when someone says like, "Yo, this is something that I'm just not good at. This is something I'm working on, personality-wise, right? So then when I see them fuck up, I can be like, well, their words,
they already recognize. Yep, they already recognize.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I have so much respect for somebody that does that, man. Like,
I follow you on that.
It's hard to have that kind of self-awareness,
right? Because it's a two-part check for me. So if you say, I need to see the action that follow it. You know what I'm saying? If those two don't match up, then I can't fool with you.
That's why I try to very, like, I do my best to hardly ever talk about myself. Right? Like, I don't go out and say I'm loyal or I'm tough or I'm hard or I'm this or I'm that.
Right.
I don't, because one, I think anytime you say something that's not true, you become weaker. But two, I don't want you to look at me and make a judgment based off my words, good or bad.
Right.
Like, just watch how I move, and then make a decision.
Mm-hmm. I agree. That's why people always talk about, like, when I first meet them, the first couple of times I'm around people say, "Man, you don't speak much." I said, "No, I was always taught, bro. You got 2 ears, 2 eyes, 1 mouth for a reason. Supposed to use these more than this, right?" So, I follow you on that.
Every once in a while, I'll be feeling myself.
But that depends on the company that you're around too.
Yeah. Every once in a while, like,
you definitely should have a high respect for yourself.
Oh, I do. I just don't feel the need to tell everybody about it.
You're gonna see how I move.
Yeah. Yeah, but damn, I think we've been going for like 45 minutes already.
Let me end it on, bro. Where mine at, bro? My hat.
This hat is actually not my hat. I stole this from Ronnie out in California.
Ronnie, where my hat at, bro? Buy another one so I can steal it from you.
I got a couple hats that are his, like this. My 444 Paper Planes hat. He got that from the Jay-Z concert. And
so when I went to the Jay-Z concert up in DC, they didn't have them.
Yeah.
Or if they did have, no, they did. They just wanted a lot of money for them.
Yeah, I got the one with 444 and Rock Nation on it.
Yeah.
I got that one in the closet.
Yeah, that's from Ronnie. You always wear it.
Yeah, but I got like 3 of them, because then I got the one with the Maryland flag on the side of the Paper Planes hat.
Bro, let me get one then.
Then I got like the normal Paper Planes. Why don't you just go on that website? It's like $40 for a hat.
No, it's not, bro. It's mad expensive, dog.
But all right, happy 4th of July, Independence Day, baby. T.A.T.U.
You woke Arch up, man.
Arch is fine.
He got high blood pressure.
Gang, gang.